Hi guys, it's C&NOnline here for another gaming review.
Today we're looking at the latest Pokemon games which have just hit the Nintendo 3DS, Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. With previous Pokemon games, both X and Y have slight differences to them, only the main one is basically you can catch Pokemon Y that you won't get on X, and vice versa.
X and Y don't stray too far from the typical Pokemon storyline. You've just moved into town and the Professor has chosen you to go on a journey throughout the new region of Kalos. This time you'll have 5 of you which have been chosen by the Professor instead of the normal 2 or 3, giving a wider range of characters to aid you throughout your quest. As mentioned, X and Y hasn't really strayed from the series' roots. You're still advised to catch every Pokemon and on top of that challenge every gym and become the Pokemon champion.
Straight off, when loading your game, you will notice one major difference with X and Y. It's all 3D. Whilst Black and White tried to pull this off, Game Freaks have done a truly amazing job of getting this full 3D model style into Pokemon X and Y. It's not just the overworld that is in 3D though, all Pokemon are now 3D models too, which makes battles look more vibrant and engaging.
Being able to see your character in full 3D is a great feature, though Game Freak have taken it a step further and added in character customization to the series. As you start the game, you can choose from a predefined selection of what you wish to look like, and then from here you can purchase set clothes around the region to change your character. Clothes are a great way to make your own character stand out from your mates and personalise your own gameplay experience. Though clothes aren't all you can customise. You can get haircuts and also wear lenses, meaning that you can either make yourself in-game or make a Pokemon trainer that feels and looks the part. One downside though is sadly you cannot go hatless, though thankfully you can still customise hats in-game at shops.
Let's take a look into the gameplay then. You'll still be travelling between towns as you venture through the region of Kalos, completing tasks and challenging gym leaders. Battles look great, especially when 3D's turned on your 3DS. Though the real sad part of X and Y is it's only single battles that are really 3D. The overworld? Double battles? Nope, the 3D effect won't work outside of single battles and some selected cutscenes. It's a real shame that the game is not capable of having the 3D effects throughout the whole game. Regardless though, the game still looks amazing. Your character in X and Y now performs simple animations that he waits in the world. The simple eye blink and hand movement makes the world feel alive. In-game you'll find various methods of getting around the world, on top of walking. Running is returned, but it isn't an item no more. It is actually built into the character's mechanics. So no more having to activate them in the menu or wait until you get them from an old man. The bike has come back with a choice of 2 colours, though the big new item in the game is the roller skates. They are controlled using the circle pad and allow for quicker movement throughout the environment. Though you can also still use running if you use the D-pads to get around. There is also another method of travelling in certain areas around Kalos, but we'll leave the video to show you what it is.
Pokemon wouldn't be Pokemon without the Pokemon themselves, would it? Pokemon X and Y contain the 650 from the previous game's regions, Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, and Unova, though it adds another 68 bringing the total to 718. The new Pokemon are really well designed and look pretty cool, though we thought it would have been nice to see a few more, but we're happy with what we got. Much to our surprise, the old generation and new generation Pokemon look great when they're in battle alongside one another. There's been a lot of effort bringing every Pokemon into the new 3D style.
Battles are still the same as they were in previous DS games. You use the touchscreen to choose between Fight, Bag, Run, or Pokemon. Fight allows you to select one of your Pokemon's moves to use against an enemy. Bag allows you to use items from your bag to help the Pokemon in battle. Pokemon allows you to change between what Pokemon you want in battle, and Run lets you run away from the wild Pokemon when you're battling them. Fighting sometimes has a slight lag to the animation, though this happens very little, but sadly is very noticeable when it does. We also like to stress that if you're using the 3D throughout the game, expect lag and bugs. Battle animation has drastically changed this time round. Certain moves now has its own animation, making it look as if your Pokemon is actually attacking instead of just standing still for the whole battle. Also, the Pokemon's idle animation still moves as they did in Black and White, though it looks a lot more fluent and realistic. The final big change we'd like to point out is that the battle environment has now changed reflecting on where you are. This is a big change from the plain background we used to see.
One thing to point out with X and Y is the now key item EXP share. In previous games, the EXP share was put on a Pokemon in your team that you wanted to gain experience without actually having them in battle. Now the item has been changed that every Pokemon on your team will gain experience without having to battle. This makes the game's difficulty a tad easier and saves you having to grind in the wild training up your Pokemon for hours upon hours. The downside to this change is that unless you want to change Pokemon, you can easily stick with one Pokemon for most of your game and not have to switch out.
X and Y has much better pacing than previous Pokemon titles. Typically you would go to the first gym, then to the second, within like 20 minutes of each other, which was all good fun, but still. Now X and Y has changed up the pacing, making the distance between gyms a lot longer, and this makes the region feel a lot bigger, which it should. Some may not like this change, though personally this is much better for a newer audience to the series. It allows players to battle trainers and explore, finding a team that they truly want.
The touchscreen on X and Y has several nifty features which you'll find yourself using over and over again. Firstly is the online and Street Pass features. This screen shows you a list of your online friends, a list of people nearby, and a list of people online playing the game at the same time. When you select a player, you're able to do various tasks. For example, watch their training video, request a battle, request a trade, or send an O-Power. Battles are very easy to do and now save you from having to go to a Pokemon Center to start a battle, and the same for trading. O-Powers are a new feature to the series and allow you to send boosts to nearby or online players. These boosts can be anything from an attack boost or HP boost, and are leveled up the more you use them on players. Pokemon on Me is a Nintendo-like mode featuring Pokemon. On Pokemon on Me, you're able to stroke, interact using the cameras, and talk to your Pokemon to improve its happiness and love for you. You're also able to play a few minigames with your Pokemon to increase its happiness and also earn some more food for your Pokemon. It really is a brilliant feature which Nintendo have put so much detail into. For example, if you try to stroke a Ghastly, the hand will go straight through, or if you touch Pikachu's cheeks, you'll get an electric shock. Not literally, although that would have been quite funny. Finally, Super Training. Super Training we haven't actually used too much at the moment, though it allows you to play little games with your Pokemon to improve their stats. Those who EV train in battle will love this mode as it helps to boost certain stats and get your Pokemon to the desired stats pretty easily.
Whilst X and Y is a brilliant game, it had some major issues near launch. First, during the champion battle, if you were to turn the 3D mode on, it would either lag or crash a game and make you restart from your previous save. The other big issue was that if you saved in a massive built-up environment, such as Lumoise City, the big city in the game, your game can corrupt. When you turn it back on, the environment will not load and you can't continue playing, rendering your save useless. We should point out that not everyone is having these problems, mainly the champion issue, whereas the save bug is a problem Nintendo are currently working on to fix at this minute in time. Make sure to save in a Poke Center to play it safe.
The music in Pokemon X and Y keeps the music we've loved throughout the series. If you're new to the game, you'll love every piece of the music and sound effects as it just fits so well with the game. The game's music sounds a lot more orchestrated this time around and helps bring every part of your journey to life.
Graphically, the game has made drastic improvements to the previous games in the series. The world is now in 3D. You can see buildings and events, which makes you actually feel as if you're in the game yourself. It may sound silly, but the massive change in graphic really makes the game feel a whole new game and a totally new experience, even if it does keep to the roots of its old games.
Pokemon has been around for a long time now, and I don't think anyone could have imagined back when Red and Blue came out just how big Pokemon would get. As of date, there have been plenty of Pokemon games, each changing up the series, though it took until 2013 to bring Pokemon to a full 3D environment on a handheld, making you feel as if you're truly in the game. Game Freak have done a brilliant job at keeping to the game's roots while making it feel as if it's a completely new game with a totally new experience.
We'd like to mention that while we've discussed our thoughts on a lot of the game's features, there is still a ton more which we could talk about, but sadly don't have the time. If we told you everything, there wouldn't really be a reason for you to pick up the game, would there?
So what do we think of Pokemon X and Y? We're going to happily give it a C&N score of 9 out of 10. The game has some flaws and we will happily admit that, though the positives heavily down all of the negatives. If you're a fan of Pokemon, you know you need to pick up this title. Though if you've never played a Pokemon game before, you owe it to yourself to start now with Pokemon X and Pokemon Y.
This is C&NOnline, signing off.